get familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hello guys, it's Learning Cups back, and today this is the video on Atoms Part 2. So hope you have watched the Atoms Part 1 video. If you haven't watched, I have noted down in the description below, so please go and watch that. Then this video will be very easy for you all to understand. So now let's look how elements are made. Let's play God for a while. There's just one rule in the game that you need to follow. All the elements must be neutral at the end of it. That is, they neither can be positive nor can be negative. Now you already know that protons are positively charged and electrons are negatively charged. So now imagine if I take a proton, I'm taking it here because I'm not trying to draw, and if I hook it up with one electron, what will I get as my result? I will get the first element of the periodic table, which is given the name hydrogen. So hydrogen is the first one. Now imagine if I take two of this. If I take two of these protons, I'm taking two of these protons. Then if I take two, now you can remember magnets. This is normal general knowledge. You know magnets. If we take north, south, uh, these like charges will not attract. It will repel. Now this magnet will go this side and this will come this side because these are like charges which are connected together. So for that, to make these connected together, these protons, I'll bring a little friend known neutron. These neutrons are neutral. Uh, these are neutral. I mean, no charging. This is zero. The charge is zero. So now this atom is positively charged. In the beginning of the video, I said you that these electrons will make these atoms neutral when they combine with protons. Now we already have two protons. For that, what do we need to make it neutral? We need two electrons. So if we add two electrons, this atom will be neutral. So now if you want to add more and more, make more and more elements, you must add more and more protons, more electrons, and more neutrons. So if I have three protons, I will have my next element, which is lithium. If I have four protons, I will have beryllium. If five, boron, six, carbon, seven, nitrogen, eight, oxygen, and so on and so on and so on. So now you know what need to be done to get that covered at PhD. So now find the element with 119 protons and 119 electrons and you can be on your way. But mind you, is not that easy. It turns out in nature that every element from one proton which is hydrogen to 92 protons which is uranium are naturally occurring. Although few elements in this are very scarce. The nuclei becomes large and are so unstable that they can't hang out for a long time beyond uranium. These elements must be made artificially in the lab. Now if we know that NiO elements are formed when increasing the number of protons and electrons. Hey, but what about neutrons? We can't leave our friend neutron, can we? If we start playing around with the number of neutrons in an atom, we will get avatars of elements. We form avatars of elements. These elements we can see in the nature because these elements are so unstable that they can't hang out for a long time. And the most famous avatars of an element are those of carbon. We can say carbon 12 because carbon 12 is the most stablest form of carbon. Carbon is a very important element, you must remember, because 25% of all living things are made out of carbon. And we can say carbon 12 We can say also, we can say carbon 12. Why carbon 12? Because carbon 12 have 6 protons and 6 neutrons. Am I not intelligent? The avatars of carbon are carbon 13 and carbon 14. If you take carbon 13, every carbon atom out of 100 carbon atoms, if you take 100 carbon atoms, in there one atom has an extra neutron. Every 100 carbon atoms has one extra neutrons. So that gives us carbon 13. Carbon 13 is very same as carbon 12, but the difference is, yes, you got it. It's a little bit heavier. Than carbon 12. Another carbon avatar is there. It's carbon 14. Carbon 14 is formed when a nitrogen atom is struck by cosmic rays high in the atmosphere. So why nitrogen? Because nitrogen has 7 protons and 7 neutrons. So one proton will be converted into a neutron by these cosmic rays. When these cosmic rays strike to the nitrogen, when a proton will be converted from a proton to a neutron, it will be neutral. So which gives 6 protons and 8 neutrons, which gives 14. 6 plus 8 is 14. So that gives us carbon 14. It gives us carbon 14. This carbon 14 is a very unstable element. This can it can decay to nitrogen over time. So now we know the two types of avatars of elements. So now let's know the technical name for these avatars of elements. This term is very important. It will be coming to your term exams and exams as well. The technical name for these avatars of elements is isotopes. So you must remember this term very carefully. And what is isotopes? What is the technical definition of isotopes? Isotopes are elements having the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Elements having same number of protons but different number of neutrons. You must remember this definition too. This is a very important definitions in coming in the topic of atoms. So this is the definition of isotopes. So guys, this learning comes back, and maybe you have got something from this video, and hope you have watched the video without skipping specially. So if you have got something, please like the video, subscribe and get set with us to get more entertaining educational videos same like this. And share it to your friends and let them get your knowledge what you got to. And if you have any subject doubt or any video that needed to be uploaded by us, please note it down below in comments. So until we meet from the next video, study